1848, the American frontier. Here, survival was a matter of cruel mathematics. Before the machine we are looking at today, your life often depended on a single shot of lead from a muzzleloader. If you missed, or if the powder was wet, you were dead before you could reload. The world desperately needed a solution, something lighter than the massive Ranger revolvers, but with enough firepower to even the odds against multiple opponents. Samuel Colt didn't just answer that need, he created the gold standard. Today we analyze the lethal elegance that defined a decade. The Colt Model, 1851 Navy. To understand the Navy, we must understand Samuel Colt's desperation. By the late 1840s, Colt was not the tycoon we remember. He was a brilliant inventor, but nearly broke. His first revolvers were fragile and complex. His resurrection came at the hands of the Texas Rangers with the Colt Walker, a .44 caliber monster, the most powerful handgun in the world for decades. But the Walker weighed over 4 pounds and tended to explode. Colt refined the design with the Dragoon series, but it remained a saddle gun made to be carried on the horse, not on the belt. The civilian market, gold rush travelers and officers, needed something lighter. Colt saw the gap between the massive .44 caliber Dragoon and the tiny .31 caliber pocket. The result was the Model 1851. Let's get into the machine. The 1851 isn't just beautiful, it is a triumph of ergonomics. Unlike its bigger brothers, the Navy feels like a natural extension of the hand. Its most distinctive visual feature is the 7.5-inch octagonal barrel. This profile adds crucial front-end weight that helps stabilize aim, dampening recoil before it happens. The heart of the system is the Colt single action. Pulling the hammer back rotates the cylinder exactly 1/6 of a turn and locks it in alignment with the barrel. The click of a cocking Colt is the mechanical soundtrack of the era. Critical to its success was the articulated loading lever. This allowed the user to seat lead bullets over the powder using hydraulic-like pressure right in the field without external tools. It was .36 caliber, had a 6-shot capacity, and weighed approximately 2.6 pounds. Its effective range was about 25 yards. However, an expert marksman with the right load could easily reach out to 50 or 70 yards. Let's talk about the .36 caliber, the Navy caliber. It fired an 80-grain lead ball at about 1,000 feet per second. It didn't have the brute force of a .44, but it was lethal, allowing you to carry more ammo with less weight and less recoil. And the price? About $15 to $20 of the time. Considering a cowboy, at best, earned $30 a month, buying one was a serious capital investment, like buying a high-end computer today. Still, more than 250,000 units were made. But there is a marketing detail hidden in plain sight. If you look at the cylinder of almost any original Colt Navy, you will see a naval battle engraved in the steel. It's not a U.S. battle, it's the Battle of Campeche of 1843, where the Texas Navy defeated Mexican vessels. Why? Because Texas bought Colt's first revolvers and saved his company years prior. Sam Colt never forgot who gave him his first shot. This engraving is a corporate thank you note etched in steel. Also, Colt's original idea was to call this the Ranger model, but in the end, the name Navy prevailed. These are the details that define this channel. If you have a passion for real mechanical history, subscribe now so you don't miss a thing. However, let's not fall into idolatry. The Colt Navy was a machine of its time, and its time was dirty. The biggest enemy was black powder. It leaves a corrosive residue that, after 18 shots without cleaning, could seize up the cylinder arbor, leaving the weapon useless. Also, reload time was quite long. Although, just like other cap and ball revolvers, the arrival of the metallic cartridge left it at a disadvantage, and the dreaded cap jam. Upon firing, the copper caps would fragment and could fall into the mechanism, jamming the hammer. Expert shooters learned to flick their wrist sharply when cocking to eject the debris, a technique born from the fear of dying with a jammed gun. Furthermore, its open-top design, with no metal strap over the cylinder, made it theoretically weaker than its rivals. The Remington required constant maintenance to remain lethal. Throughout its 2 decades, the Navy evolved. Early models had a square trigger guard that bruised the knuckles, soon replaced by the rounded design. Also, if you had money to spare, you could commission Colt for custom modifications like engravings or different types of grips. During the Civil War, the South, cut off from northern factories, created copies like the Griswold and Gunnison, recognizable by their yellow brass frames and round barrels. Due to steel shortages, they often use melted-down church bells. Here we must stop and demolish the Hollywood image. Point 1. The belt myth. A loaded Colt Navy weighs almost 3 pounds. Carrying that hanging on your hip while working a farm is torture. Most people in the West didn't carry a Navy on them. If they carried anything, it was a small Colt pocket or a concealed Derringer. Big revolvers stayed at home next to the rifle or shotgun. Point 2. The supremacy of the long gun. If you were a settler and only had money for one gun, you bought a shotgun. It's cheap, easy to use, hunts food, and defends the home. The revolver was a secondary luxury. The West was one with shotguns and plows, not high-noon duels, despite the civilian reality. The military impact was seismic. It was the most numerous revolver of the Civil War on both sides, alongside the Colt Army 1860. It was also beloved by lawmen and outlaws. It was the weapon of Wild Bill Hickok, who carried a pair with ivory grips his whole life, and of General Robert E. Lee. It was the Glock of its time, ubiquitous and reliable. Cinema has turned this silhouette into an icon. The supreme example is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Although Clint Eastwood uses an anachronistic version adapted from metallic cartridges, the movie gave us the best gun scene in history. Tuco disassembling 3 different navies in a gun shop to assemble one perfect one. A masterclass on the mechanics of these pieces, even if unrealistic. More recently in Django Unchained, the protagonist chooses an 1851 Navy as his tool of justice. Hollywood loves this weapon for a simple reason. Aesthetically, it is the most elegant revolver ever made. Thanks to modern Italian replicas, today we can still feel the recoil and the smell of sulfur, keeping history alive off-screen. The Colt Navy 1851 wasn't the most powerful, nor the fastest, but it was the perfect balance. It is an amalgam of steel, wood, and Colt design created to kill. Yet, there is a terrible beauty in its lines that continues to captivate us 170 years later. It's not just a gun, it's the physical artifact of a nation forging itself. If you want to choose next month's topic or see exclusive videos testing loads and more, I'll see you in the members area, link below. I'm Logan, and this is Gunpowder History.